Hey, hey, hey. It's the podcast formerly known as the Luck Bubble. That's right. We've undertaken a rebranding. We are now known as the Template of Now. It's still that place you come to explore the one skill they didn't teach us in school, which could have made all the difference, which is that ability to come back to the now. Still got all your great segments like Dear Dickhead and the spinning wheel of practices and idea of the week. It's just with a different name, which is pretty much what this thing is. Just an exploration. Doesn't mean anything. Just great friends of mine who know stuff about bringing yourself back to the now. I'm your host, Kirk Westwood. For those of you who don't know me, I used to read people for a living for 20 years, and now I just make shit up for fun. How it came to that was my heart stopped. And I realized taking life way too serious. So now what to do is to just play. So welcome along. In today's episode, I have my great friend, known her for many, many years, and she's an expert in 5 rhythms dancing and the somatics of the body and movement. Love her to death. Say g'day, Natalie Ivin Poole.
G'day, audience, all 4 of you. G'day, Kirk. Fun to be here.
It's great to have you. All right. Before we get started, I want you to explain what 5 rhythms is. It's among many things that you do, but you're an expert in what? What's your field of endeavor?
Okay, so 5 rhythms is a dance movement practice. It's a freestyle improvisation movement practice that takes people on a journey through a wave of music.
Of 5 rhythms.
And there are five rhythms, 5 places on the map that we really want to move through.
And what do you call, what to name those 5 rhythms for people who have no idea what we're talking about?
Okay, so the first place is flowing, which is all about fluidity. The second rhythm is staccato, which is where the beat kicks in. Chaos is the third rhythm, and that's where we come undone. But it's also when the BPMs get a lot higher and faster. Think letting it all go. Imagine African drumming. Imagine techno and that real pulsing. It's like we're getting to that top of the mountain. And then lyrical is the 4th rhythm. It's the playful lightening up, spilling over. It's like the froth of the wave. And then stillness, or I like to call it distillness, is the ending and the resolving and dissolving of the dance.
So typically you go through, you call that a wave, correct?
Yes.
And you go through 2 of those.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Usually in a class you could turn up to a class anywhere in the world and it would probably be that structure, dancing a wave twice.
Yeah, right. Where did it come from? What's the concept behind it?
So Gabrielle Roth was a dancer who had an injury in America in Big Sur, West Coast in the 70s. And she was working with different people, different populations to help them find their dance. She realized in watching people dancing to live drumming that there was a point where people let go. So they needed the beginning. And then there was this peak, this place where something shifted and changed, and then anything was possible. So she, I guess, refined it, mapped it, crystallized this idea of how we can use dance to find a flow state.
I like that. But you have to do the work through the rhythms to be able to get to that place where it releases. You had a great saying that I use all the time, which is around you dance and then you are danced.
Yes. Yes, so it feels like the first half of the wave of your practice is, well, like any dance class, a warm-up and a getting to know your body and grounding and centering and finding your space in the group. But also it's like the having to go down into the valley, having to do the work before you get to that magical place where you take off and where you are danced.
Yeah, where you are danced. I like that. And for those who don't know, Nat is way deep into this stuff. Ever since I've known her when we were little kids, she's been a dancer. She's just loved the dance, the movement, the expression through her body without words. And to the extent where you even started a PhD there not so long ago as well.
Yes.
PhD in 5 rhythms. How is that even a thing?
Exactly. So I was looking in particular at teaching the 5 rhythms as part of my practice. So how do I sense myself and my interoception in order to read the room and read the group and to work out which track was going to come on next, where we were going to go, where I was taking the group, where I was taking the group, and what was present in the room And was there anything else that I wanted to bring to the room? So in writing,
And that's a felt sense.
it's a felt sense, and I would do that by looking at the room, but stepping into the dance floor and moving with people, as well as, I guess, I'm listening to the music and feeling the impulses, feeling where the music or the tracks are resonating in me, and then continually checking in with the group as to where I feel like the next step might be.
Yeah. Something you do so well is I see a great five rhythms instructor as someone who is a conductor, and their instrument is the people dancing. Because I've seen you jump from track to track, just not even have a plan, but then leave that plan because you can feel that it's changing. And I'm a huge fan of collective consciousness. And I see it a lot in things like five rhythms. You have 150, 200 people in there. And there is a mood to that day. There is a flavor to that day where people are going through the same thing or same things brought forward. Because you're not really a DJ, you're an orchestrator, a conductor, in bringing these people to this crescendo, this ebb and flow, this contrast of rhythm. That's what the definition of rhythm is, I think, is the contrast between highs and lows is rhythm. You can't have rhythm without contrast. And I see you doing that and then taking them through the rhythm. So I really like that about you guys. That a good one is stepping into the unknown. I have this saying that, the unknown is the dance floor of the gods. And the price of admission is the ability to surrender.
Mm.
And when you lead people to that, when they step into that door, it's like they don't even know. All they got to do is turn up. They turn up and they're led. And their body leads them. And we'll do a little bit about that today into the practice of the week. Is it something that's just like natural progression to do it well, to become a master of your art as opposed to just a teacher of your art?
Yes. So in the beginning, I needed a playlist. I needed to work out how I was going to shift from one track to the next track. I needed to rehearse my words so I knew what the invitations were. But with more and more practice and then needing to be present to what was in front of me rather than what I had predicted might be happening in the room, I was able to let go, surrender to the playlist, and start seeing and responding, like sensing the room, sensing the mood, sensing what the flavor was of the day, and finding a way to either support it by bringing in a tone coming up underneath, or it might be to kind of quieten it down, like soften it, to kind of coming over the top of the tone and guiding it that way. But ultimately, it's a co-created process. I feel like my music choices, I'm curating live as we go. I'm responding to what I'm seeing on the dance floor
There's a lot going on.
as well as what I'm feeling. Yeah.
As well as what you're feeling as well,
Yeah.
bring it to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We jumped into this because I could geek out on this subject about the somatics of it and how we're like a flute. And imagine the blockages in the flute and the movement of the body is the way that you could unblock the flute so you can play your greatest tune. For want of a better, look at me, I'm the analogy king today.
Yeah.
We jumped over the homework I gave you during the week, which is to come up with the one thing that moved you as a little girl.
Yeah.
Something that gave you this passion. So whilst I queue it up, I want you to talk people through it. What did you find for me that moved you?
The first idea that came to me was a clip of Mikhail Baryshnikov with Helen Mirren in the film called White Nights.
Dame Helen Mirren.
So, yes, Dame Helen Mirren.
God bless her.
And it's about a ballet dancer who has defected and because of a plane crash has ended up back in Russia, back with his old friend, the principal female dancer, Helen Mirren. And they're at the...
Hold right there. Because let's play it for people.
Yeah, okay.
And you get a chance to, so we're not giving it away. But
well, we can say that they're at the Bolshoi.
This
is where he could have danced if he'd stayed.
You were to be a legend here. But now the young ones don't even know your name. How does that feel?
How does it feel? I was born as a dancer in this theater. It will always be part of me, like Russia. But for 8 years I've been free. Do you know what it means? Be really free, do you? No, it's like Vysotsky. You whisper his songs. I want to whisper what I feel. I want to scream like he does. I can't lie anymore. Look at me. Look at me.
Мы успели, кости к Богу, не бывает опозданий. Так что ж там ангелы поют такими злыми голосами? И это колокольчик весь зажжется от рыданий. И я кричу коням, чтоб не несли так быстро сани. Чуть помедленнее кони, чуть помедленнее. Умоляю вас, скачь, не лететь. То, что на кони мне попались привередливые, коли дожить не успел, так хотя бы допеть, и я коней напою, и я плен напою. Хоть мгновенье еще постою на краю.
You are working for Chaika, aren't you?
Well, that's something. So talk us through that. What's going on there? Why does it move you?
What does he say? I won't whisper what I feel. So it's that, yeah, I can't hold it back anymore.
Yeah.
It's like and the feelings are big. So just, yeah, wanting to shout that feeling.
In the context, is going back to Russia, and that's the Bolshoi. So even in his real life, Mikhail Baryshnikov defected to the US. Correct?
Yes, that's right.
Wow, so many layers there for him. And she's also a Russian dancer who is still in Russia.
She's stayed, but there's a sense of repression that she's a rebel, but she whispers her rebellion.
And she's working for the state
Yeah.
in getting him to come back so that they can prove that he's one of theirs.
Yes.
So in a way, she's, oh wow, the layers, her own trauma, wanting to be free like him.
Yes.
In that moment of dance when he says, look at me, look at me. Ooh, yeah, I get that one.
Yeah. And yet the Bolshoi is it's what they would have grown up, it would have been the dream is to dance there.
Mm. At the cost of their freedom.
Yeah. I have ruined a couple of pair of sneakers trying to dance on point.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a freedom.
I physically just puckered a little bit just when I saw him do that 3 times over on his sneakers, on his points.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay then. That's awesome. Thanks for that. That's cool. Back to the storyline. So dance for you, 5 rhythms, this thing you become somewhat of an expert in. What is the journey that you see for people who have never tried this before?
So with 5 rhythms, there are a couple of intentions that I have for people. The bottom line for me is that people are comfortable in their own skin. And that can be a really big deal for people. To even just come in through the door and step onto a dance floor can take a lot of courage. But then the idea of creating, moving, listening, and responding to music within a group setting and feeling the magic, the buzz, the flow, the high. The high, yeah.
Right, the runner's high. It's a real thing within dance.
Absolutely. And it comes out of the repetition of a practice. So you don't necessarily get that, but it is something to continue working towards.
Forging the pathway that makes it easier to tap into it.
Exactly.
And that first moment you hit it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I remember the first time I did it, back when I was traveling the world, documenting rituals and practices, and this was one that just obviously appealed. And we stepped in. We actually did it here in Melbourne with 200 odd people that turned up in the hall on the Tuesday night, and they wouldn't let us film. They said you can shoot before and after, but you need the sanctity of people being able to express themselves without being monitored, because it puts them back up in their head. We had funny story is I was really getting into it. I like to dance and starting to feel the music, and the other producers really enjoying himself. But the third producer, who really isn't a dancer, God bless him, love him to death, but his greatest fear was realized in doing it. He's like, okay, I'll be courageous. I'll give it a crack. But about 30 minutes into things, the instructor said, okay, now turn around and find a partner. So straight away, myself and the other producer went straight to a gorgeous woman. And then he, in not knowing what to do, kind of turned around and ended up with the last guy who was there, who was a 150 kilo hirsute, sweaty male wearing a tutu. And he walked straight up and gave him a hug. And I've still got that picture in my mind of this producer's face looking at me over this sweaty hug, looking and go, what have you done? It was this moment that I was never going to live down. He didn't talk to me for a week. God bless him. But even he, at the end of that session, got an experience of, I'm just in my head, just in my own way here. Those are little elements. And in LA, I took a bunch of buddies and said, the motivator may have been that there was 150 good-looking women there and 5 guys, me and my buddies. But within about 3 or 4 sessions, all of them came to that moment where they were danced. They were dancing through the first wave of 5. The second wave came around. Something happened to them that they weren't expecting. This moment in time where they were being moved. They weren't choreographing movements. They weren't thinking about it. They were just being led. And to some of them it was quite shocking, because for some of them it was quite cathartic. And I made raving fans out of those 5 guys who were the most masculine athletes, superstars, and celebrities who came to find that feminine aspect within them. For want of a better term, it was deeply rewarding for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a huge advocate for it. And then there's that time that I ran into you in LA.
Yes. Well, you were on the dance floor. You were clearly having a deep moment. You were very within. Your eyes were closed, and I was kind of in front of you waiting.
I didn't even know you were in the country.
I was waiting for you to open your eyes, and yeah.
And what did I say to you?
Well, you said, well, when you first opened your eyes, there was kind of this look of like, who the hell is in my space? And
I was having a moment.
Yeah, you were in a magical place, and someone came up and you sensed them, and you said that I was standing on your cloud.
So poetic, even in my anger. Get off my cloud.
Yeah.
And you guys were, I remember that day, and then I rode away on the bicycle, the little girl's bicycle that I had. And
That's right. And you stitched us up, which we weren't sure of your use of the word stitched up. You stitched us up with a convertible to drive up to San Francisco.
That's right. We had this discussion. Is it hooked up or stitched up?
Yeah.
I'll stitch you up. No. And Glendon was like, no.
We were waiting to be pulled over the whole time, or charged extra, or...
Nat's husband is my good mate that I grew up with as well, and has gone off in his own field of endeavor in bringing his own light to the world. And Nat, at that stage, I knew you were in the dance realm, but I didn't know that 5 rhythms was your thing. So it was such a complete surprise to me to see you in this realm at that stage, and surprised me by being in the country. So that is, I can vouch firsthand for the application of, it takes a few sessions to get out of your head and realize. I tell my buddies, just close your eyes. Just wait to be moved.
Till someone stands on your cloud.
Till someone stands in your cloud and you get on your joke.
But there's something to be said about, the challenge and taking a partner. I like saying, dance with someone near you, or sense the people around you, or because, take a partner can be such a loaded term. But this idea of sometimes the person that you are avoiding the most turns out to be your guru, your greatest teacher, your nemesis, but also someone who can offer or mirror something right back to you.
Right. Only the fool sees the detour as anything less than the greatest possible thing to happen to them. Without a doubt. I concur. Love the work you're doing. What is a fun story about 5 rhythms?
The opposite came to me. The opposite of a fun. Well, is it the opposite? Okay.
Or whatever it was, it's perfect.
Yeah, a story. So I Literally January 2020, I was speaking to a colleague about this idea of dancing online. And I said, that's something that I will never, ever do. Not interested. Cut to at the end of, I think it was March 20th, 2020. And I was teaching my first online 5 rhythms class. And because of restrictions, the restrictions hit Melbourne, and I was just about to start my Sunday class back for the year, or actually I was about to start a new Sunday morning class in Brunswick, and we weren't allowed out. So I began teaching online. And over the next couple of months, I learnt that teaching online opened up the world, literally the world, to come to my dance classes. So I had someone contact me who had a chronic autoimmune disease, and she was unable to go out anyway, even before the COVID restrictions. And she came online to the classes. She fell in love with the practice. And over the next sort of 18 months, actually beyond, it was beyond COVID, she ended up coming to the daily classes. And for her, that was a really big deal because she was really unwell and had health workers come and help her get out of bed and get dressed. But she would show up to the 9 a.m. dance class each day, online. Online. It was safe for her to be online. Her dance didn't look like everybody's, but everybody has their own dance anyway. Her health deteriorated over those 2 years to the point where she sometimes could not even get out of her chair or even out of her bed. So she danced from bed. And so the story that I am leaning into is that Nia told me that when she saw me moving and when she saw the other participants moving, she could feel her body. She was embodying the dance experience in a way that she couldn't do with her own body. So it's like her nervous system was attuning to our movements and she was sensing dance. So one time in summer, she said, I loved it when you spun around and I could feel your dress. And it taught me something about what is my idea of embodiment? What does dance look like? And what is possible even through a screen. Nia, when she could no longer join us for the dance, it was only I don't think it was even a week. It was not long afterwards that she ended her life with the voluntary assisted dying. So we literally danced with her till the end. And so when I feel what is possible with moving and dancing and connecting, then Nia comes to me as a teacher of mine, one of those dancers, those pupils that gives back, teaching me what embodiment is, what dance makes possible.
Yeah, the doorways of perception, huh? Just when we think we know it, someone comes in to teach us in ways we can't imagine.
Yeah.
Must be very humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very touching. We all were blessed to have her as someone participating in our regular dance class. We've had births, we've watched babies grow and be born and now be dancing on screen with us, and we've also witnessed people going to the end of their life.
Yeah, wow. It's inherent with us and within us to move, to dance, to react to music. Without a doubt. It's our birthright. What do you say to people who think that they have no rhythm?
Who is it that said, those who were seen dancing were thought mad by those who couldn't hear the music? Perhaps they're just dancing to a different beat.
What's the best practice for someone who thinks that they've got no rhythm? First of all, do you think it's biologically that they have no rhythm? Or do you think they just have stuff around moving that stops them from hearing the music?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. And I imagine it's a case by case situation. But I feel that, I mean, we've got a heartbeat. That's a great place to start in terms of the beat. We've got our feet walking, assuming we have feet that we can walk. But this idea of a rhythm, a day, a night, a blink, our circadian rhythms, our breath in and out, it's all a form of rhythm. I guess it's about tuning into which is the rhythm that is supporting you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an even rhythm. It could be.
And as we just talked about, rhythm is the contrast between a high and a low, between 2 points. It's not rhythmic unless it has contrast. And that's what I see as the yoga, there's a practice. It's like I literally view yoga as how I travel between 2 points. That could be 2 points in time, 2 poses, 2 movements, 2 songs, 2 days, 2 relationships. It's not what you do, it's how you are that makes the world of difference. It's not the destination, it's the journey is the reward, how you're traveling between those 2 points. And Father Rhythms is such a wonderful way to just show up. And we talked about this before about change being simple. It might be difficult, might be hard. Might be hard for you to show up and dance in front of other people. Might be hard for you to get there because you can't afford it. But it's simple, which is just show up. It might be complicated or hard, but it is simple. It's a bit like addiction. It's like drugs, no drugs, smoking, not smoking, just stop smoking. It's simple. It might be hard for you, but it's simple. And I think that's the beauty to me of something like Five Rhythms is people just show up. You just got to get there. You get there. You don't have to have any expertise. It's your dance. What do you say about your dance? What's your great saying about finding?
Yes. What was I saying? So I have people come up, and if I've done a demonstration or if they've sensed and felt me moving on the dance floor, they're like, "Oh, wow, you're so fluid," or "Where did this come from?" Or I'd like to be a teacher like you. And I really offer back, well, why don't you dance like you? Like, do your dance.
Do your dance. That's the quote. You just do you, boo. No one else is an expert in you.
Yes.
At this point in time, at this moment in time, no one's going to do you better than you with your history and where you're at and what's going on inside your head because you just don't know what's going on for people. You really don't. So there's that moment in time where you just get a chance to come and express that which is going on for you and trusting that within a couple of sessions, 3 to 6 sessions, somewhere in there, the music moves you. You move to start with, and then it moves you in a way that you can't possibly imagine into the unknown. Yeah, it's a gift. It truly is a gift. I love this field that you're in.
And even this idea that there's not necessarily one you or one true you, that we have these multiplicities. I'm interested in this multiple facets that, and Five Rhythms offers us 5 different perspectives of ourselves. And then each one of those can be divided into 5 or multiplied by 5. So we get to explore ourselves, or maybe we're exploring an injury, or maybe we're exploring a story or a theory or an idea. And we can locate, or we can look at it and locate ourselves in different positions, different perspectives.
What's your, I love that. See yourself within that. There's just so many layers. Do you have a favorite rhythm or favorite song, favorite music?
Favorite.
Something that's your go-to?
Well, rather than favorite, I think I have a challenge rhythm, which is staccato. Staccato is the organizing, the beat, the container, the structure. And although I come across as being clear and able to hold a clear, strong boundary and space, I feel like that isn't the result of covering up for the mess of my chaos. My kind of, what was that? Oh, let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah.
I can relate.
There's a blue butterfly.
Two peas in a pod with that.
Yes.
Oh, shiny. Sorry, where was I?
Yes. And which is also a gift. I mean, I feel like until I had Five Rhythms, I thought chaos was messy and dirty and something to be hidden. Now I realize it's creative and energetic, and there's this multiplicity. There's so many opportunities and possibilities, and that is the superpower. That is the
opportunity that is presented to lean into that.
The essence of me is the oh, things not going exactly how I want it. Okay, let's come at it from this way.
Mhm.
Okay, let's do it this way.
Not right or wrong, simply an opportunity.
Yeah.
Got it.
What's your favorite song, Kirk?
Don't know about song, but genre of music. I reckon I'm polyamorous. Polyamorous, as in
Jammers?
I enjoy different genres of music. Is that a term?
Aha.
It is now.
It is now.
I'm polyamorous.
Maybe that's eccentric.
I'm polyamorous. I enjoy a lot, from classical music through to. Actually, I really like rhythmic. I like the waltz a lot. It's just like I talked about, that journey between two spaces. It can be aggressive. It can be smooth. It can be seductive. It can be arrogant. Gives me a chance to play, to make shit up inside my head, how I travel between those moments. So that's a rhythm that I enjoy.
Like the lyrical, it would be. The waltz could be in that, the lightness of
Right.
the lyrical.
Lyrical,
Yeah.
totally. But it has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be mine for the best. Yeah.
It's like the shapeshifter, the chameleon, the magician.
All right. Okay. There's so many layers you could go into, and we're going to have a chance to do that. So, present for you guys is that at the end of this, the meditation, the spinning wheel of meditation today is going to be a chance to do a short 5 rhythms. And Nat's going to be good enough to talk you through it, give you a feeling of what it is. How can people find you?
Find me on the socials. We have a 5rhythms.com directory of everybody in the world who's
In
a
the world.
certified 5 rhythms teacher. Yeah.
Awesome. So you
Yeah.
punch in, go to 5rhythms.com and then punch in your location,
Yes.
and it'll come up with a different.
Yep.
Oh,
Or look
cool.
up Natalie, or I'm at
You still
Twirling Wolf on.
I noticed your ring. Make sure you show people your ring. Will you put it up in front of your face?
Okay.
Twirling wolf. It's so perfect. I love it. And what about offerings? What sort of offerings you got at the moment?
So online every morning we have 2 waves, an earlier and an early. And I also teach in Melbourne at the Masonic Lodge in Brunswick on Sunday mornings for 2 hours. So come and join us and
Oh, awesome. What time?
dance together. 10:30 to 12:30.
What time are your online weekly offerings?
7:45 for 30 minutes, or 9 a.m. for 30
Okay.
minutes.
Is it recorded? Can people watch it if they're not there at the time? Or?
No, I don't record it, mostly because I am creating the music as we go. So I feel like it's this personal thing that we have co-created.
Yeah, right.
And there's something about the transparency of showing up and being witnessed that I think that I feel the camera, the screen offers us. So we're witnessing and being witnessed at the same time. So there's the accountability.
Right.
Show up.
Awesome. Okay. You going to stick around?
Yeah.
Well, actually, she has to, because she's doing the spinning wheel of fortune. What am I thinking? Okay, next up we have a little segment I like to call Idea of the Week. And it's going to tie into what we've been talking about. It's the idea of proprioception. It's the toggle switch of the soul is what I like to call it. Okay, so the idea, let's just try this as a practice. Right now, without looking down, where's your left hand? You know exactly where it is. Didn't have to think about it. That knowing, that is proprioception. It's your body's ability to sense its own position, movement, and balance in space. It's the science of knowing where you are without looking. Why does this matter? Well, proprioception only works in real time. It doesn't work in the future. It doesn't work in the past. The receptors can't fire then. It can only fire in the now. They only exist in the now. This means that your body is a biological portal to the present moment. It's not a metaphor. It's hardware. You force your nervous system to exit the thought loop and return to the physical template. See, because your body holds this body schema in your brain. And it's, in essence, a real-time 3D map where every part of you is in space. Millions of tiny sensory receptors in your muscles, tendons, joints, continuously uploading data to that 3D map. But when you're anxious, ruminating, or stuck in a shame spiral, that map gets blurry. Your brain is essentially offline from its own body. Okay? Now, the fascinating part is that neuroscience also gives us interoception. You mentioned this before, Nat. I love that you did that. It's the companion sense. While proprioception tells you where your body is on the outside, interoception tells you what's happening on the inside. Did I say that right? I think I just said that wrong. Now, the fascinating part, it also gives us interoception. I love the fact that you mentioned that before. That's the companion sense. While proprioception tells you where your body is on the outside, interoception tells you what's happening on the inside. Your heartbeat, your breath, that gut feeling you've learned not to ignore. Now, both are processed in the insula. And it's a part of the brain that bridges the body and the sense of itself. And research consistently shows that people with high interoceptive awareness are harder to manipulate and more emotionally resilient. That is, they own their own internal state. They are not easily hijacked by emotions or the events occurring around them. This is very important for your health and happiness in life. It makes me think of The Body Keeps the Score. The Van der Kolk, is it Dr. Bessel? What a great name. Bessel van der Kolk's landmark work, The Body Keeps the Score. His central argument is that trauma isn't just a bad memory. It is a physical imprint on the nervous system. When something overwhelming happens, the brain's speech center often shut down. But the emotional brain records everything as raw sensation. Now, that unprocessed experience gets lodged in the body as tension, a frozen nervous system, a chronic inflammation. The template gets corroded by a past that won't stay in the past. It keeps being brought up. And Van der Kolk's radical research-backed conclusion is, get this is it. You cannot think your way out of this because the trauma lives in parts of the brain that don't use words. You have to move your way out of it. Okay, another way to look at it is the neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you return to the felt sense of your body, you're physically carving new pathways in your brain, in your gray matter. You are redrawing the template. This is neuroplasticity, not as a self-help slogan, but as a structural, biological fact. Your brain is not fixed. It is soft clay, and movement is the sculptor, not talking about it. You know, the mystics and their traditions have been circling around this truth for centuries, just in different languages. They call it inhabiting the vessel. And here's the interesting thing. Most spiritual conversation is about leaving the body, transcendence and astral projection, rising above. But the deeper, quieter teaching across traditions is the opposite. It's about radical embodiment. The soul isn't inside the body the way a driver sits inside a car. The body is an expression of the soul's geometry. And when you're present in your body, truly present, not just tolerating it, you are consecrating your own temple. You're taking your power back. And taking your power back starts with occupying your own skin, not escaping it. Presence is not a mystery. I believe it's a toggle switch we can flick on and off, and it lives in the body, not your mind. Science shows your brain is biologically incapable of worrying about your past and being fully present in your body at the same time. Your hardware just won't allow it. So stop trying to think your way into the now. Just move the template and the brain will follow. Okay, so the practice for the week is this week I want you to try allowing the impulse, and how it works is you're going to pick a song, something you like, something with a beat. And as it plays, you're going to allow yourself to be moved in whatever fashion is compelled. Let go of the choreography entirely. Let the body lead. Stop deciding what the next move is and just wait. Do not move until the body hears the music, receives the music, and is compelled to move, whatever that movement is. This is where your nervous system takes over from your thinking mind, okay? Trust that your body knows how to move without tripping. This is the template in action, unmediated. That's it. One song. By the end, you won't have reasoned your way into the present moment. You will have moved your way home. Now, what's the connection for you with that concept, this idea of the week?
Wow, where to start? I love this idea that you put forth of the proprioception brings us into the now. So this idea of where we are in space brings us into our body and our awareness. I also like the idea around interoception as being a skill that gives us resilience. Also picked up on this idea of the sensing and then the moving, like the motoring part of the nervous system. And that has me feeling into ideas around that we might be sensing, and then the way to respond to that is to move. So for example, if you were to throw a ball at me, I'm sensing, I'm seeing, I'm watching, and then I need to move to catch it. I need to respond. So it's like a
response.
resolving.
It's a response to the stimulus that's thrown to you. The music is being thrown to you, and it's your body's job to react to it, to be moved. I love that. That's such a different way of looking at it. This send and receive. I'm receiving. And from the signal that I'm receiving in my ears, there is an impulse that my body naturally wants to move, the body that heals itself. It has its own ability. It wants to work out. Not that 5 Rhythms is all about trauma release, but it is an exciting byproduct of the fact that we have a lot of people who have been through this work and have had that trauma, 20 years of therapy and no movement, yet they come to half a dozen sessions and they are weeping on the floor with the cathartic moment and an ownership because it's moving through them. I believe we're just energetic beings having a human experience. And as an energetic animal, we're like this flute. And our role in life is to remove the blockages in the flute so that we can play the greatest tune we were built to play. And 5 Rhythms is a somatic practice that brings us back to that. You know, we talk about trauma. For me, the definition of trauma is too much, too quick for your nervous system. We saw this in Afghanistan. I've seen it with soldiers, and whether it be shell shock of the First World War, Second World War, or PTSD. And it was trauma tended to happen to those who are exposed to things too quickly. It's called the blanket folders phenomena, in which special forces be out 180 contacts in 3 months, getting shot at, life on the line every day. They would have an experience inside the wire where there was severe trauma event that would not cause them trauma. But the blanket folders, the quartermasters who were not exposed to combat situations, would get trauma attached, that dorsal nervous system response. We've got fight or flight, you've got rest and digest, but in the middle of that, you have the dorsal response, which is where you freeze. It's what's not emoted at the time. And sure, 5 Rhythms is great for this, but it's also great for joy.
Yeah.
It's a release. Sorry, I went on a complete
That's
rant.
all right. Well, I was picking up on this idea of this sensation coming in, and if we're constantly activating that, increasing our sensing without an opportunity to discharge, to metabolize, to, I guess, respond and finish that movement, then it feels like it's like a buzz or a jangle or in body mind centering in the somatics work I do, we might call that a reversal of the synapse, or it's the wiring, the transferring from the sensory part of the nervous system to the motoring part of the nervous system hasn't taken place. So it hasn't been resolved and enacted,
metabolized. Yeah. Such great words to use.
Discharged or followed through. Or,
right.
Resolved.
I love that. There's that great film, Trip of Compassion, about psychedelic-assisted therapies, and it follows 8 participants who all had single event trauma, massive single event trauma, and therapy wasn't working for them. And they came to the psychedelics, and the psychologist expertly led them back to the moment in time where their trauma existed. And every single one of them was led to, okay, now that you're safe, even though you're back there, you fully believe that you're back there, but you're safe. What is it you wanted to do? And it was always something in the body. For instance, the girl who was kidnapped and she was told if she made a noise, she'd have her head cut off. She said, I want to scream, but I couldn't for 4 days. Okay, but we're back there now. We're reliving it. Have a chance to do it. Finish it off. And she screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed for 10 minutes. But then she came back. You literally see the color change in her face. You see her pupils dilate and come back to the now. Her family thought they had lost it. 15 years of this, stuck in this trauma, unable to move past it. In that one moment, that one session of psychedelic-assisted therapy had the moment to embody. And I see 5 Rhythms as another great chance to do that. It's the embodiment for the resolution, the expression, as you just said, that chance to complete the movement.
And it doesn't involve digging up stories. We don't have to go into those places. I feel like just motoring is enough to, it's like a bit of a spring clean.
Uh-huh.
It's like a mopping up any extra emotions that have been hanging around unresolved, not knowing where to put themselves, not knowing how to move. You know, when you don't know what to do with your arms, like, okay, move them, put them somewhere, move your legs, move your feet.
Oh, you just made it worse. Now I really don't know what to do with look at my hands. They're girls' hands. What the hell, Jerry? Van der Kolk said it. You cannot think your way out of this because the trauma lives in parts of the brain that don't use words. You have to move your way through it. Simple as that. And there's no way through it other than through it.
Through it. Move it.
Right?
Move through.
And that's the joy of being in a class where there's 100 other people in that class just doing their own thing. They're on their own journey. Interestingly, that collective thought we talked about, often the same journey is taking place on that day, and your expertise in choreographing them and leading them to that moment.
Mm.
Beautiful work. Cool. What would you have told yourself as a 16-year-old? It would have been the game changer. It's a segment I like to call Dear Dickhead, because we're all dickheads at 16.
There is, growing up in a country town.
Where we grew up, Tamworth, northern New South Wales.
Feeling like, and being in love with ballet and having a very particular idea of what a career of a dancer would look like. I felt like something was ending for me when I didn't go down doing RAD ballet, learning the point shoes and learning to dance and turn and do the point shoes and then go to the VCA and then audition for the Australian Ballet School. That was my sense in this country town, that you either became a ballet teacher, but really you do that after you have been in a company.
Career.
Yeah. So I guess if I could...
What would you have told
speak
yourself?
to myself. If I could expand my idea of what dance was and what dancers looked like, it would have saved me a lot of stress and pain and grief and sadness.
So what's that line you would have told yourself? You would have pulled yourself in as a 16-year-old girl, picked yourself as a 16-year-old girl. What would you have done? What would you have said to her? Okay,
I would have said, there's something about dancing and moving and feeling and this screaming through the body that moves you. Follow that.
Nice. Follow that, and to the naysayers, to the circumstances, to the fact that you're 16, what else would you have told yourself? There's a whole world out there that you don't know?
Yeah, there's a whole world of dance and movement and people and artists and expression and a whole world of finding flow and these... There's a whole world out there of people expressing and making art, whether it's by painting or photography or films or dance. Go.
Awesome.
Go.
And not sweat the commerce side of things?
Yes.
To just lean into the art, have your commerce, do what it takes to support your art.
Trust and trust that niggle, that impulse. You were talking before about putting on some music and stopping and listening and waiting for the impulse. Then for me, it's that impulse. What is it that moves me? That's what I would love to say. Follow, follow, follow.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think I have a wonderful mentor. I have a wonderful mentor and friend who, his mentors, I think they did 32 PhDs in the Han Dynasty.
Ooh.
And the Han Dynasty was this incredible period of time, about 100 BC to 200 AD, where their society had some rules and incredible things were discovered during this peaceful period for them. And one of those things was they decreed that everybody must have an art and a commerce. And if you were broke, they wouldn't make you get a job. They'd make you get an art because they believed they were the yin and yang. You needed both of those. And they both had 10 steps. And the 10 steps were exact same 10 steps for your art and your commerce. 1, choose to have an art. 2, explore different arts. 3, make a choice. Now, it could be fighting as your art, but jiu-jitsu is specific, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. or it could be acting, but is it treading the boards, or is it musical theatre? But you had to choose exactly what it was, define it. Then you were studied and you practiced. Then you got a teacher, step 5. Step 6, you had a master because you had learnt everything from the teacher, but you sat at the feet of a master. And step 7, you could only go to if the master said you were ready. You could bring your art to the world. You could go on an audition. You could compete. You could bring your paintings to the world to be sold. Only then can you make money or reward, because at any time before that stage, you would fuck it up. And I see it when, in LA, I saw it for so many years where people would come across and they're struggling to make ends meet whilst they're trying to pursue their own. They're like, I need this job. I need this so that I can eat. And it fucks with their art. As opposed to you have your commerce taken care of and you can practice your art. Step 8, become a teacher. Step 9, you become a master. You rub your life. You're the only person who can bring your experience of life to that art. Step 10, you choose a new art. And then you do it all again.
Start again.
And it could take 10 days or it could take 60 years. But that was the journey that they decreed. And I certainly wish I had told myself that when I was younger, was football's your art. Enjoy your art. Get yourself a teacher in that order. Study, practice. Get a teacher who can lead you. Get a master. And then you're ready to bring it to the world. Yeah, I love what you said to yourself. That's cool.
Well, I was just studying in France, and a couple of the people in the course that I'm studying with are full-time dancers, and they were telling me about this program that they have in France. It's for anyone who's an artist, and particularly for dancers who have, is it itinerant working conditions or go from job to job. So, and the idea is that when you're working, you put a certain amount of money into a fund. And then when you're not working, as long as you've been working a certain number of weeks a year, they pay it back to you like a minimum wage. So that as an artist, you don't go from project to unemployed to project to unemployed. You are, which is...
I've never heard of this. Are you kidding?
I know. Like,
look this shit up.
Hello, exactly. So it means that people who are art, what it tells me is this is how France respects artists.
Truly.
Imagine.
Art is life. Art is life. We go way, way down a rabbit hole here about weighing out the pros and the cons out within a society that wants you to produce, but they're missing the point of how to be. And art brings us back to how to be. It's not a waste of money. It's a chance to invest in the mental health of your society because it fosters that within children. We all have it in us. We want to express ourselves. And somewhere along the line, it gets fucked out of us that we need to earn $1. But there is commerce and there is art, and they go hand in hand. Because if the artist gets to that level, he's paying far more forward to the health of the community than that person earning money ever will.
Yes, comrade.
Yeah, gold. What do you do to dick about?
I'm not sure if my dicking about is any different from my whatever the opposite of dicking about is.
You lucky bastard. So you're saying you live from a space of dicking about. You don't have to schedule time to dick about? You can cruise from one thing to the next in a day?
That's the beauty of working for yourself is you can pick up projects and put projects down. At the moment, I'm working on some intimacy coordination projects for like short films and for a Netflix series. So there'll be times when there's no dicking about. It's just going to be
work. Get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. But at the moment, I've got a little bit of space. So maybe when I'm dicking about, I come and speak on podcasts.
Hey, giddy up. I like it. Gold. This is literally your dicking about time. It's my dicking about time too. Well, actually, I forget. Sometimes I think this is what I got to do. And then I come back to, oh, no, that's right. I'm actually just doing this podcast. It's just a chance to play with my friends. All right, nice one. Now, we're going to have what I like to call the spinning wheel of practices, where I imaginally spin a wheel. Oh, look at that. Magically, it's come up with 5 rhythms. Okay, so what's going to happen next is they're going to start playing some music, and Nat's going to talk you through the 5 rhythms, being flow to staccato to chaos to lyrical to stillness. It's only about a minute of each. It's a chance just to give you a taste. So you ready for it? Find yourself some space where you can actually stand up and express yourself and listen to this. Put some headphones on or close the door and have a chance to give yourself permission to move like nobody's watching. Take care of yourself so you got the space to do this. Okay? Take a big breath in. Let it all go. Game time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So inviting you into a micro dance, sensing and moving meditation. Flowing, our first rhythm, invites us to meet the ground and explore our relationship with gravity, to describe circles, curves, spirals, with our limbs, with our bony spine, and with our soft spine, gut tube. And in staccato,
Take down,
we build momentum,
move now. Take down,
we find the beat,
don't stop. Get work. Keep going. Make the work. For the sun.
we find our push,
Go to work. Prove it now. Take down. Take the train all around. Move tempo. Can't look back.
hips,
Push the ladder. It's too late now. On the you. Make it back though.
our pelvic halves,
Make it back though. It's all on you. Day and night. All around. You're the only one.
from the soles of the feet to the pelvic floor,
Day and night. You make it, bro. You make it.
out breath,
The day and night.
and then as the beats per minute increase, we shake. We soften. And we let it all go. Go the head and the neck. Letting go ideas and ideals. We let go of control. We surrender to the bigger picture. Chaos offers us impermanence. And after the release, after the storm, after the chaos, comes the rainbow. We lighten. We reap. And Lyrical dances us. Our fingertips, hands, and our arms expanding. Possibilities. vista, the view. We need to come back down the mountain. As the wave settles, we can distill our dance, weaving the threads of our story together. We honor our endings. We can resolve and dissolve. And we've made it to the other side. Landing. Maybe you're taking off.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Nat. For you guys, that's just a sample of going through the 5 rhythms in a very brief wave. Have a chance to explore it. Get online, check it out. Have a chance to go through a full one. Do it a few times and see where it leads you. Incredibly rewarding. Now, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today.
Should have done that at the beginning, because now I feel like I'm a different person. I feel like I am on the other side.
That's why it comes in 2 waves is what it takes, because now you've reached the starting point. It's almost like the warm-up.
Yes.
So guys, play this back twice. Hit the repeat button. Go back and play it a second time and enjoy it. Thank you for joining me today.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me. This
Thanks
is
for the play,
fun.
right? It was fun. For the rest of you at home, your homework for the week is pretty simple. You're just going to let your body enjoy the music, the sweet music. Find a song and don't move until you move. I've been every opportunity in the car, at home, take a moment out, listen to the music. You won't regret it. And then, of course, meditation. Try Nat's 5 rhythms. Get online. Give it a crack. Give it a whirl. Or even just that small one over and over again, going through the 5 rhythms. Remember, nothing means anything about you. It's just a ride. Doesn't matter what you do. It's how you are. So with that in mind, pitter patter, let's get at her. Have a great week. Cheers.